Hello everyone. I was bored and I thought, why not talk to my camera? Because I used to do that all the time when I was younger. And I had my YouTube channel and I would just yap and yap. Like every time I was bored, I would just yap in front of the camera and talk about things. And I've stopped doing it. Instead of yapping, I just journal a lot, but I want to yap. I'm in the process of trying to be vulnerable because it's something I really struggled with. I hate being vulnerable and I'm trying to be, so let's talk about things. And today I wanted to talk about life abroad. For those who don't know, I've been living in the US for almost 5 years now. I moved for college when I was 18 by myself. I have absolutely no family in the US. I have no one. I moved there. I knew no one, no friends, no family, nothing. I lived 2.5 years in LA, then I moved to Boston for a year and a half, then I came back to LA for a semester, and then I went to New York for 2 months. And I recently just moved back to LA, and I graduated college in May. So this whole chapter is over and I'm starting a new one as I'm stepping into the real world, like I don't know. And the past few months have been a roller coaster emotionally. I think people, when they look at my Instagram and you know, my life in general, people always think that I have the perfect life and everything is so easy for me, and which I don't know, it's not entirely true it's not that things are so easy for me. It's that I'm very stubborn and I'm very hard on myself, and I will not settle for anything that doesn't satisfy me. I will not step back from any challenge. I'll keep going until I have whatever it is that I want. But the thing is, on social media you don't really show all of that, so it appears that things are always so easy for me, but I mean, it's not true. I went through really hard time and I struggled a lot for a lot of years. I worked on myself so much. I know, anyways, this is off subject, but all this to say, I'm a very lucky person, but I create those opportunities. I take action, I do things. If something happens, if something triggers me, I'm gonna introspect and figure out what it is that is not healed. You know, people always ask me, like, was it hard to move here, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, it wasn't hard. I was never scared to move in the US. Honestly, only a few things really scare me. I think what scares me most is when it comes to love relationships. I get scared. I'm emotionally involved, so it's harder for me, but like whatever does not involve like romantic feelings, I'm pretty fine with it. Like I'm not scared, like, cuz okay, whatever. I moved to the US. I knew I could always come back home. I have a safety net that I'm really lucky to have. I'm a very privileged person, so I don't think there's anything that really scares me because I always have something to land on if it doesn't work out. I'm lucky in that way, and also I go for it. I don't really think much. I do it and we'll see. Like, it doesn't mean that it's always easy though. I mean, of course, when you move, you deal with homesickness. First 2 years I've dealt with homesickness. I don't anymore. I think what was hard for me at the beginning was adapting to a new culture because I don't think I realized how different the American lifestyle was. You know, like the cafe culture, the like restaurant culture. It's very, very different. Even today, like I deeply miss the European culture. My home is here. My life is here. I never say like going home, because for me going home is coming back here. I don't feel like going home when I go back to France. I feel like I'm going back. I feel like I'm going back to this version of myself that I hated. I like suffocate and I feel trapped, and I hate being in France. I love seeing my family, I love seeing my neighbors, I love seeing my goddaughter, but I hate being back there. It's not who I am anymore. Paris is attached to those first 18 years of my life and the person that I was there, and I don't like the person that I was because I was so unhappy, and I don't really have anything there anymore. I feel like it's sad, but I was thinking about it and I realized aside my family, I have no one in France. I have like 1 or 2 friends. That's it. I've lost all of my friends. I have like, acquaintances, but it's different. You know, it's except for 1 or 2 people, but my real friends are here. My whole life is here. I haven't been able to go back to France for a year, more than a year actually. And I'm not gonna be able to go back until next summer. When I go back next summer, it would have been 2 years since the last time I went there. My goddaughter had a brother last year, and I saw him. He was like literally a week old. The last time I saw him, he was like a month old, and now he's a year old. And I saw pictures and I was like, I missed all of that. I didn't see him grow up, and he probably don't even know who I am. And my goddaughter, she's gonna turn 5, and I miss her whole year, and I'm gonna miss a second year. When I see her again, she'll be 6, and when I see him again, he'll be 2. He won't even know who I am. I miss Christmas. I'm gonna miss a second Christmas. I'm missing out on so many things because I chose to live in the US. The best decision I've ever made. I think that sometimes people forget that I'm not from here. When we graduated, everyone went back home, and I was like, well, it hit me because I was talking to a friend in New York, because she lives in New York, and she was like, what are your plans for the summer? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, I'm gonna move back to LA like early. And she was like, oh, you're really like, you're going everywhere, you're so lucky. And I was like, I go everywhere because I don't have a home. And when I said that, it hit me. I was like, oh, like I don't think I've ever realized that. And I think when I first moved here, I loved that. I loved that I was moving places all the time. I was like always on a plane going somewhere else. Even when I was in Europe, I would always like go all over Europe for the summer, and then I would come back here and I would like travel all around the US. I was always like moving places, even like moving apartments. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, I want to settle down. I'm tired of always moving around. I'm tired of like constantly moving my stuff. I want a home. I need a home. I was lucky enough to grow up in an environment where I had parents, I had siblings, I had a home, we had a home. I felt secure in that sense. The first 3 years in the US, I loved this independence and like this, always on the go, always moving around, always like, moving between cities and apartments and, never staying, like always going somewhere, going on vacation. Now I'm like, I want a home. I want to be home. I want to have like an apartment where I stay for more than a year. I'm tired of moving around. I don't have that yet. I'll have it at some point. I don't have it yet, but I think you all think I'm cool because I'm moving around all the time, but I'm actually moving because I have nowhere to be. I have nowhere to go. I don't know anyone in this country. I don't have a single relative in this country. The only people I have in this country are my friends, and even like friends. So many of my friends moved back to Europe. Like I had to remake new friends almost every semester. It's constantly like people coming and going. I think that's why I moved back to LA as well, because all of my friends that I made last semester stayed in LA after graduation. I need something that like grounds me. I need that familiarity. I need a sense of security and home. But it's something that's really hard as an international student. Well, I'm not a student anymore, but like, I've always been very independent. It's not like I became independent when I moved here. I was always super independent, but obviously moving halfway across the world at 18 without anyone, I became even more independent, and I had to, my parents paid, but my parents did not take care of anything else. I took care of finding housing. I took care of doing my visa. I took care of everything, and I'm fine with it. Like I did it. It was easy. My first apartment, I took care of it. But right now, I have to get a car, and I don't understand anything about cars. It's like really, it's not my cup of tea. I'm so confused, and I have to get car insurance, and I I don't know, I'm so confused. It's like a guy thing, it's not a girl thing. I'm a girl, I'm supposed to just like have the car, drive it, and be pretty in it. My dad is supposed to take care of those boring, confusing stuff. But he's not here. He's not here. Even if he were, he's not even American. Like, things work differently. And I have no one here. And I've asked friends, but you know, their parents took care of their car stuff. So they were not of much help. And I'm just like, it's one of those moments where I'm like, this is so much pressure and stress on me right now. And I know it's silly because it's just like a car. It's like I have to do everything on my own. No one is doing anything for me. I have to take care of myself on my own all the time. I have to do my legal paper. I have to find the apartment and take care of it. I have to take care of getting a car and getting car insurance. I have to take care of everything. And I've had to do this for almost 5 years. I'm at a point where I'm just like, I'm tired. Sometimes I just want to have someone to help me with those things. And it's my decision. I don't regret it. I'm so happy here. I'm just saying that sometimes it's like my mental charge is so heavy. I'm just like, ugh, can someone just take care of me? Like, I just need a man that takes care of me. But it's okay. Like, living abroad looks and sounds like so exciting, and it is. But don't underestimate how hard it can be sometimes, because if you're like me, you're on your own. You're literally on your own. And you have like the visa stress on top of that. You know, you have a deadline, otherwise you're kicked out of the country. The amount of stress that I have in my life is incomparable to the amount of stress that my friends can have, because they are from the US and I'm not. Again, they're not to blame or anything, because I'm the one who moved here, so like that was a choice, and I'm not complaining because I absolutely love my life and I'm so grateful, and I would do it over and over and over and over again. Please never take me out of this country. This is my favorite. Like, my life is here. I want to spend the rest of my life here. I want to marry an American guy and have like American kids. I'm so happy here. I love my life. Just sometimes I'm just like also, like, something else I've noticed, speaking a different language changes my personality. In English, it's easier for me to open up. Well, all of my life experiences happened in French, so the French language, it holds a lot of emotional weight, whereas like the English language is like, you know, like for me, saying I love you in English, I'll say it to like anyone, like, love you, bye. Like, it's a very like, I love you, you know, easy. But in French, saying I love you in French, which is je t'aime, oh my god, I never say it. It's so hard for me to say it. It holds so much weight. It's so like intense. I never say it. I can't say it. It's too much. I'm really not emotionally available in French. This is my red flag. I am in English, I'm not in French. Doesn't mean that when I say it in English I don't mean it, because I do. But it's easier for me to say it. Hi, it's the next day. I want to keep talking about living abroad and things like that, because I was watching what I filmed yesterday and I was like, I have more to say. Something I've also realized is, I don't think it hit me before, but since I was not able to go back to France for an entire year, and I'm not gonna be able to go back until next year, it kind of hit me that I'm never gonna see my family, my parents, more than like once or twice a year. When I was a student, I was able to go home for like 4 months for the summer and like a month for Christmas. So it was still like a good amount of time. This year I was not able to go back because of my visa. Can't leave the country. I haven't seen my parents in a year. They just came for my graduation, but they came for like 10 days. In the span of a year, I've seen my parents for 10 days, and I'm not gonna see them until next year, and I'm not sure they're gonna come. But even if they're coming, like, they're gonna come for like max 2 weeks, max. Literally, in the span of 2 years, I would have seen my parents not even 1 month, which is kind of crazy. I don't know, it just kind of hit me that being abroad is also a sacrifice, in the sense that you're sacrificing seeing your family. Time is passing by. My parents are like almost 55. Not that they're gonna die tomorrow, but you know, like, time passes. I'm missing out on everything. It's fine, like I'm good with it. I'm okay with it because I'm okay with it, but I think it's just something that you have to keep in mind. It's not always easy, and sometimes you don't really realize it until, like, you know, like I'm fine with it, and then sometimes, you know, they're all together, they're sending me a picture with, like, I don't know, like other family members or friends, and I'm like, ugh, I wish I was here. Once I have like my husband and my kids, it's also gonna be different because I'm gonna have my own family. But even at that point, I think what's going to be hard is to accept the fact that my parents won't see my kids as much. That's just how it is. That's just the reality of it all. I mean, I'm okay. Again, I'm okay with it. I know the sacrifices that I'm making, and I'm okay with it because at the end of the day, I'm my happiest when I'm here. Some people can't live far away from their family. I've never had this issue. I love them, but I never had this issue. I'm fine, like, being away and not seeing them that much. But yeah, sometimes it's just like the occasional, like, oh, I'm having dinner with my parents. I'm like, well, no, I'm not. You know, it's like celebrating my birthday here without my family. I have my friends, but it's not the same. I still don't understand, like, I'm like 5'5". I'm like, what does this mean? This weekend I was hanging out with some friends, and one of them was like 5'7". I was like, is that tall? And he was like, no, that's not. I was like, I don't know, like, it doesn't mean anything to me. He was like, oh yeah, true. And he was like, well, how tall do you think I am? I don't know, like you could be 5'2", you could be like 7'1". I have no idea what this means. Like, so it's always so funny because, like, they're like, oh, it's like 80 degrees. I'm like, is it hot? Is it cold? Like, what are we talking about? I'm like, like, degrees is still something I'm like, I do not understand. I'm like, what does this mean? Like, they're like, oh, it's like 20 degrees. I'm like, oh, what's 20 degrees? Like, ah. French humor is based on dark humor and sarcasm. Americans have a harder time understanding sarcasm and dark humor. Now I found friends that use it, and I'm like, thank God, like, thank God. But when I first transferred to Emerson College in Boston, I made like a group of friends, and oh my God, I got canceled so many times because they thought I was serious. They're like, I quote, actually, it's so offensive. And I was like, bro, it's humor. Like, it's humor. I'm not being serious. They're like, it's not fun. You can't laugh about those things. I'm like, yes, you can. If you're smart enough, then you can. Because I got canceled so many times because of my jokes, I'm kind of scared of making jokes around Americans, especially when I don't know them that well. You know, when you like start a new friendship, you don't know that person too well, and so I'm kind of scared. I'm like, is it okay? Is it not okay? How are they gonna react? I'm gonna get canceled. Like, what's happening? They're gonna think I'm a racist, homophobic. I'm like, I'm not. I promise I'm not. It's just like French humor. But that's like one of the things where, like, I see the cultural difference, because in France, oh my God, like, and also I've never joked here as I joke in France. If those friends thought I was being offensive with my jokes here, they would, oh my God, they would never ever have been able to deal with French me, because French me, the jokes that I make when I'm in France, the jokes that my friends and I make when we're together in France, yeah. Even us sometimes we're like, oh, we took that so far. I've like multiple times with my friends we're like, we joke and you know, like, you keep adding up to the joke and you start saying things and you're like, okay, maybe we're taking it a little too far. Like, this is, and we're like, please, like, hopefully no one heard us. But it's just so funny. But oh my God, guys, I have so many. I won't say anything here because this is not the place, but I have so many examples of jokes I made in the US that did not land well. I have like one specific example in mind. I think this was such a bad timing, and I completely understand why the people involved gave me those side eyes. I still feel so bad to this day, and it was a great learning experience because I'm never making jokes in elevators anymore. This is where I draw the line. Like, I don't want to I don't want to be in that position again, like, ever. This was traumatic. So sometimes it's kind of hard because you're like, I can't really be fully myself in that sense because I'm just like, they're not gonna get it. Like, it's okay because, again, I think when you move to a country that is not yours, then you're the one who has to adapt to this country and the culture and everything. Even though, like, sometimes, you know, there's like some cultural differences that I can feel and notice, I still love Americans. I love my friends and I'm having fun with them. I feel like I've found my people and I'm having fun with them, and that's it. Like, the European culture in general, I think, is very much based on, you know, we work to live, but we don't live to work, which, like, in the US, people are workaholics. They work all the time. Like, they're always in a rush, and they don't take the time to just sit down and enjoy life. And I think I still kind of have a hard time with this, because that's why I hate going to the restaurant in the US, because you go to the restaurant, waiters are like hovering around the whole time you're there. They're hovering around and they're like, are you okay? Is everything okay? Every 5 minutes they come and they ask if you're okay, if you need anything else. I'm like, bro, leave me alone. If I need you, I will ask you to come here. And then, like, you don't even have time to, like, put your fork down, that they're already, like, taking your plates away and asking you if you want a dessert, and if you say no, then, like, 10 seconds later, you have the receipt, you have the bill, and you have to pay and leave. Genuinely, you can't stay more than like 1 hour at the restaurant. And it's so annoying because, like, in France, you go to a restaurant, it's like, first of all, the waiter is leaving you alone. Thank God. And second of all, like, you take the time. Like, every time I go to a restaurant in France, like, we stay at least 2 hours. At least. If we want to stay 4 hours, we can. But it's like, it's a moment. It's not just like you go, you eat, you leave. It's like you go, you enjoy, you're talking, you're eating, you're sharing a moment with the people that you're with. It's about the community aspect of it. Whereas, like, in the US, it's just like, you have to, like, you go from point A to point B to point C to point D. There's always like, you have to do this, and it's never like you go and go with the flow, you know. This is really a thing that I don't like in the US, because I'm like, what's the rush? Like, let's enjoy. And then, like, you leave the restaurant, like, okay, so where are we going? I'm like, well, we could have stayed there and just hang out. Now we have to find another place to hang out. So is that for the World Cup? Everyone was like, oh my god, like, it was so nice. You could just, like, hang out with your friends, like, in the middle of the week, like, go to the bar, like, at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. Like, now that the World Cup is over, like, it's never gonna happen again. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. Europeans live this way. We go to the bar randomly at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. We don't wait the weekend to do something. And when we do something, even on the weekend, we take the time to do it. We live. After school, we go get a drink with some friends. Not alcohol necessarily, but just, like, we go sit down, we do something. And we sit down, we chill, we talk, even if it's just, like, for an hour. In the US, you're done with school, they directly go home. I'm like, are we not hanging out? Like, you just go to school and go home? I want to sit at a terrace and, like, stay for, like, 3 hours and just chat and chill. Like, I don't need to always be doing something. I want to end this video by saying, I'm such a positive person that I watched that video, I finished the editing, and I was like, oh, I sound so negative in that video. What are people gonna think? Just to say, these cultural differences I just talked about are just cultural differences that I've noticed, but I promise you guys, I love the US so much. I love Americans much more than I love French people. I'm like the biggest French criticizer. I don't know if that's even correct to say, but this is not a critique of the US and Americans, because I swear to God, trust me, the US and I were like this. Americans and I were like this. Like, I absolutely love people's mindset here. I connect with Americans much more easily than I do with French people. I avoid French people. I don't want, like, in college I was known as the French girl who hated French people. So I feel like I've criticized. I didn't criticize, but I feel so bad. I'm like, no, like, I promise you guys, I love you so much. Like, you're my people. You're my people. It's just like cultural differences I've noticed and picked up on, but I promise it's nothing compared to all of the amazing things I love about Americans and the American culture and my life here. I swear, you guys are funny. No worries. You still are funny. Yeah.